Hey, Spirit Essence gang, welcome back to the Spirit Essence Show. This is where I bring you all the good people, all the high vibing people, all the people that I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful to have you in my space. And we do this because I want you to be able to see those that have authentic and beautiful energy and love to be of service, not only to you, but to themselves, which is very important in the spiritual community. So let me introduce you to our guest today. So happy. I love this woman with all my heart. She's only been in my world for a little while, but when you know, and I knew. So this is Avenie Cherie. Welcome all the way from Australia. It is 11:11 there, I believe. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. 11:11 right now on the 11th of the 4th, 2024.
Isn't that
Thank you for
amazing?
having me, Tara. It's such an honor to be here with you. And again, I feel exactly the same way. It's a short time that we've met, but I feel such a soul deep, divine feminine connection, right?
Mm.
And heart-centered connection here. So thank you for having me.
I love it. And when, because you came into my world through my summits, the Soul to Soul summits, you've done the first two we did, and you were amazing. The feedback we got. And people get excited when they see new people come into the space. And I have a very loyal following, and it's growing and it's growing. And you came in and you were talking about alchemy. Even in, I believe, your very first seminar, I can't remember the exact name, but it had something to do with alchemy. And people were texting me and they were like, "Oh, you have an alchemist, and what is she going to do?" And I'm like, we will just have to wait and see. So Aveni, beautiful, all the way in Australia, doing the work. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do. Tell the audience, show them how you shine, girl.
Yeah, sure. I'm known as the Galactic Alchemist, and that comes from my connection of as a star seed from Arcturus. So channeling Arcturian frequency, not just as a channel, but as an actual embodiment of knowing and remembering that star lineage and that connection to that galactic connection of my galactic team.
Ooh.
And bringing in those healing codes. So traditionally trained in Reiki numerous times over,
Mm-hmm.
and knew that it was something uniquely different that I would bring through. I would always do energy work with clients, and then I'd be moving this energy in really strange and different ways. And I had to really bypass the mind that would to second guess what I was naturally, organically bringing through. And then I'd have visions of being a shaman. I would have visions of being, an alien, so to speak, or past lifetimes, as many lifetimes as a healer. I'd have lifetime memories of being in Atlantis and Lemuria as a temple priestess of the healing, the sacred healing chambers of the crystalline temple in those timelines. And so I would rapidly have these memories. And one specific memory I do remember having is I remember seeing myself coming here as say an alien, an Arcturian in this lifetime, and walking the earth and not being accepted. And so not being not being accepted for how I looked like as that blueprint, right? So not as human blueprint, as the alien blueprint, right? And now just saying, this is big for me to talk about.
This
And
is
then
this is big for everyone to hear, though. I think this is valid and very important because there's going to be someone out there, gorgeous, that's going to be
yeah,
like, "Damn, oh, Aveni, I hear you, I feel you." So please continue.
absolutely. And so I remember had my eyes sort of partially open, partially closed, and saw this whole story map out in front of me on the floor of where I was meditating. And you probably all know this, you've had this experience before. And as I connected in with that, those blueprints dropped in further of knowing, okay, I'm not just channeling the frequency, I am the frequency of quantum, Arcturian quantum healing. And I bring through light surgery codes, Arcturian light surgery codes. But coming back to being trained in those healing modalities, Reiki, one of the foundations, and I'd move this magic and see this magic, and you can start to see how everything mapped out. Everything started coming together and made
Right.
sense when I originally started my healing journey as a healer. And then I trained in quantum healing, medical intuitive, and medical intuitive quantum healing.
Okay.
And I also trained in, well, currently I'm in the process of working through my trauma resolution therapy practitioner training, and I'm in probably halfway through doing my PhD in quantum medicine and natural medicines as well. So
Look at you, girlfriend, embracing all that energy.
it's big. Yeah, that part of it, the last journey part of it, is huge. But I just feel that in 2020, I heard a call that the heart-centered light leaders need to step up and bring the light of integrity forward for just that integrity of true heart-centered integrity, of being the impression, the light, the connection into the embodiment of the work that you do through being the work that you do, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Absolutely. And you know, here's something I find very, very interesting is that a lot of people that are doing different kind of, let's call it healing energy work, that have amalgamated from the standard Reiki type of work into something more, will always say, though, that they started with Reiki. And
Mhm.
Reiki has become a very what's the word? It is just the start of a lot of people's journey. When they go into healing, they're like, okay, what's the easiest way for me to start tapping into energies and learning how to work energetically with symbols and things like that? And they'll go to Reiki. Now, I have level 1, 2 of Reiki. I have level 1, 2. I believe I have, don't laugh because I don't do the work per se anymore, but I believe I have level 3 of Sakim, which is a very powerful energy. But all the work I do is channeled through spirit. So
Yeah.
energetically, I feel that Reiki is what we call the first step into a healing practice procedure, if you will. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because when I challenged myself with I was experiencing regarding, um, sort of my mind was battling with those tradition programs of what you've been trained, and the
Yeah.
Actuarian shared with me that interesting. They said, "Who do you think gave the Reiki codes to the Reiki masters?" They channeled it because the Arcturians are a great race of healing light, and therefore humanity, to help raise humanity's consciousness and come back to their divinity, and so much more. But to come back to the remembrance of their divinity, and they particularly work with healers,
Yes. Yeah.
And so they said, all healing modalities, where do you think they've come from? The channels come from here. And we've channeled it and created it and here on the planet. And I'm like, oh, okay. So when I heard that, an acceptance moved through me more and
There's
more.
the word. There's the word. I truly believe, and excuse me for interrupting you. I truly believe that people can accept Reiki because it is now just the norm, so to speak. It's so embedded in, oh, Reiki, oh, Reiki, oh, Reiki. I don't know anyone that doesn't know what Reiki is. But if
Yes,
you're
yes,
to go
yes.
beyond that, right? It's like when we started to work with the Hathors. They are another alien race
Yep.
who work in light energy healing work.
Mhm.
When we started to work with the Hathors, people were like, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, sound, we can heal with sound, and it was vocal, it was tuning, right?
Mhm.
And then
Yep.
you go into like the Lemurians and the Arturian, and all of a sudden people are like, they're lost because now we sound fantastic. Now we
Yes, yep.
sound like we are talking, things that people can't, it's not tangible because the Reiki has, a Reiki certification and all this
Yep.
jazz that people are like, "Oh, okay, well, this must be real." But
Yep.
you're not wrong, girlfriend,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You're not wrong when you say things like, "Hey, guess who told the Reiki masters what they were doing?" You're going above and beyond.
That's right. And how can we deny with what we're what spirit's giving us. Now, here is a clear message with it. To get your clear message from spirit, you got to be clear within yourself. You have to do your own inner integrity, own inner work. And this is why I am so passionate about chakra consciousness. One of my
Amen.
platforms of my part of my programs and the work that I do through personal mentoring, one-on-one personal mentoring, group programs, and group journeys, and also other events as well, is talking about our chakra consciousness, talking about how to work with our energy, how to activate our chakra consciousness, because this is what's dormant, this is what's forgotten, this is how we've forgotten our divinity, and we've been programmed to forget this,
That's
right?
right. That's true. No lie.
And how to forget that we are extremely powerful, soulful beings who can connect to our quantum self. We can connect to spirit. Yes, some of us are born with this blueprint because we've actually incarnated here to come to be the light way showers, the light leaders, and others, and are here to awaken that, but they might not be here to lead the path of that. And that's where the integrity part of it is. And that's where we need to honor the divine first, right? So one of my key things I remember on my journey is honoring the divine within,
Yes,
work it through chakra consciousness,
absolutely.
and lead with the integrity, because that's integrity, right? When you do your inner work,
Yes.
when
Yes,
you do
girlfriend.
your inner work, you become a stable foundation as being that pillar of light of purity consciousness. Now, this won't mean that we'll fluff your boat. This won't mean that we'll help you stay in victim consciousness. Now, this means we'll help you move out of victim consciousness into your accelerated version, so that you actually can lead your life on your spiritual path and feeling empowered spiritually. That is what an integrity light leader is, right?
I need to say this. I need to say this with my full chest. I knew when I met you there was something special about you to me. To me. I'm sure you're special to lots of people, but there was something special to me. And I'm going to tell you what you said that has just hit the nail on the head for me with this. When I do mentorship, when I do one-on-one, it tends to be focused on all things mediumship.
Mhm.
So when I talk about that, I mean, I believe that mediumship is the foundation for all work. You have to be
Mhm.
able to be a conscious channel for spirit, a vessel. So
Yeah.
you have to take yourself out of it and be that conscious channel. And one of the things, and I will never forget this, and she's a beautiful light worker healer now, but this woman came to me, and I need to say this, and she was like, I want to do mediumship. That's all she was focused on, Aveni, was mediumship. I want to give messages, evidential messages. Let me connect to spirit. And I said, you have to sit in the chakra. If you're going to mentor with me, we have to do the chakra work first. You have to be able
Yes.
to align and do that work so that you can. And she just was having none of it. She just was like, no, can we just switch back over here? And I'd be like, I can't work with you. We can't do this because you're not hearing the work for yourself. And we lost touch for a while. And then she came back into my space and she says, oh, I'm doing energy work now. I said, oh, you found the chakras? You found them? She's like, I did. And she was so sweet in her apology, but she was so excited. And I think, what you just said is so powerful for me because that's exactly where I stand. You cannot do the work without having the ability to realign and reconnect. And whether you come off, and I always say this, I'm like the bull in the china shop. I come in and I take over the room and I'm like here and I'm here and I'm squirrel and I'm all over. But that's my personality. That's my nature. That's who I am. I don't need to be the person that sits, in meditation doing the and that. None of that resonates with me. I'm the fast. I'm the furious. I'm the Scorpio that slays. That's what I do. But I do it with integrity. I do it with the understanding that spirit works through me. That
Mhm.
this is not Tara. This
Mhm.
is spiritual Tara.
Yes, love it.
That
Yeah.
makes sense?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally makes sense. And you're absolutely right, right? If we cannot, and this is when it comes to the integrity of this work, if we haven't worked on our own interdimensional aspects, how then can we be? And I say this a lot with the clients, and if I'm mentoring for a spiritual development as well, is how can we be a clear vessel and bring in the highest if our interdimensional selves is not clear and we haven't done our own inner work? Well, it's almost like dripping water through a full sieve, right? You've got a sieve that's chock a block with stuff. And
Yep.
so you're going to get driplets of consciousness or spirit coming through, which, I have been in spaces like that where I've sat in front of someone giving me, a reading or a healer and I'm like, oh my God, I can feel where these areas are not in integrity. I can feel where you're actually not doing that inner work. And so for me, that's no judgment, but I hold this with such high integrity, and my mastery has to be in alignment first before then I'll be in the mastery of my work for you, or for the collective or anything like that, because that is what it takes to be that light leader, right? And that's what it takes to be in the work that we choose to do here. It's commitment. And I had to take 2 years off because I said to Spirit, this is part of my journey, all this work I was doing, and I've always worked with the chakras. And then I said, okay, Spirit, where else am I meant to go with this? And they said, you need to be of service. And I went, I am of service. Like, how
How much
much more?
more?
Yeah. And they said, and this was the key part, Tara, it was to be of service to yourself. And I went, oh, holy shit. Okay, it's
Damn. That's the
going on
hard
another
part.
level. So I stopped doing clients for about 2 years, and I went on a total interdimensional journey of myself and started. This is where more of chakra consciousness started developing, and I started then channeling and bringing in more of the Arcturian codes and more of that starseed connection, and started really channeling in and bringing in a ascended master energy of working with chakra consciousness, like looking at the blueprint of that in a completely different way than the traditional meaning of the chakras. So whilst they're still important, and whilst they still have an importance for this 3D world, but I was shown how to bring in the fifth dimensional consciousness of the chakras, of our blueprint, to help to rise the frequency on the planet, to help to rise our consciousness, lift up, if that makes sense.
Absolutely it doesn't. And before I go into our last question with you, one of the key things that I do is I attune people to the from the third to the fourth dimension chakral system, then to the fifth dimension. But I
Love
can't
it.
attain everyone.
Yeah.
There have been people I've been like, okay, not yet, not yet. Come back to me in a year. Come back to me in
Yes.
6 months, and let's see what you've done in the third dimension, so that we can easily and effortlessly move you into the fourth and fifth. So,
I love your integrity. I love your integrity. And I feel so, heart to heart again, I
yes,
feel this why I'm so drawn to you, because I'm very particular who I work with for
love it.
frequency reasons, right?
Absolutely. And again, I am just, someone who sole purpose, truthfully, is to be of
Yes. Yeah.
service. So, why does mediumship come to me easily? Because I believe without a shadow of a doubt that spirit never fails me. I don't second
Yes.
guess spirit. I may not
Yeah.
always like be happy with spirit, but I never second guess spirit. And I love that. That brings me to a great question to close our beautiful interview with. And I share the audience is going to love hearing this from you. But before you started to work with spirituality, before you started to work with these high vibrational energies, is there something you wish you'd known about it before you got into it?
Yeah. I wish that our school systems, I wish that we had greater access
Mm.
and avenues to remind us here of our true identity, our true blueprint, our energy body, our chakras. And that comes from remembering lifetimes of remembering that. Remembering lifetimes of all incarnating and already remembering those codes. We're here in 3D land. I know we're here in Earth School, and we're meant to fall through the veil of forgetfulness. I get that.
Yep. The veil of forgetfulness. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, I know we're meant to fall through that, right? However, and I think we're at a time now where this wish is coming true, where more parents are awakening to help their children to awaken, right? So we are birthing that. But yeah, I wish that I had more of that connection rather than the separation of our true connection and identity as light embodied, right? As our soul embodied, and our connection to spirit and connection to all of oneness and nature and the law of one.
Well, I'm going to say this. We've come so far already, just in the fact that we can talk about this and not have people going, well, we will still have people going, holy crap, what are these two ladies doing? But so much more people saying, oh, I feel that. I feel that. And on the idea of, I remember my husband, if you follow me, this is Roman Catholic. And but he's not practicing, and he has always said to me, I don't know what you do, but you make people happy, so you just do it. And so I remember him saying to me that when my daughter came up to him when she was little, and she said, I remember when I was older, and for whatever reason, those simple words, I don't know what the rest of the conversation was, I don't know if Mike remembers what the rest of that conversation was, stuck with him.
Wow.
Said, she said that. I remember when I was older. So it was there is that feeling of knowing that you've been here before, you've reincarnated in whatever capacity. And it's something that, I went into to the school system with my children, and I legitimately said, and I'm not kidding you, kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, all Ryan and Alana, I said to the teachers, in our house, angels, spirit guides, fairies exist.
Love that. Love that. Oh my God.
So I am asking you
Yeah.
not to tell my children they don't. You don't have
Yeah.
permission. And, I was not met with any resistance. I was not. As a matter of
I
fact, I
love
remember that Alana
got
and
goosebumps.
right. I remember Lana and Ryan had the same grade 1, 2 teacher. They're 2 years apart. They were 2 years apart. And Miss Plotel, who was her name, Judy Plotel, lovely lady. And she's like, I believe in angels. I believe in angels. She was right in there with me, and I was like, that's beautiful. So we are growing. It's a slow process, opening us up spiritually, galactically, opening us up, allowing us to feel safe in speaking our truths. I mean, you and I have no problem, but there's a lot of people that feel very shuttered in, and talking about this is very hard for them. So I'm very grateful you've come on here and shared your experience and the growth that you've had, and the beautiful thought processes that you possess, and the fact that you do all this work from a state that is not not the average, and I say average with due respect, medium or energy practitioner. You're coming from a place that is has so much power and truth to it. So I love that you feel safe, you feel genuine, authentic, and sitting in your power to be able to share this, to allow judgment and expectation to fall to the wayside. So Aveni, let's bring this to a close. Tell our followers, tell our audience, tell the people that love us, how now love you, how they can find you. How can they find you?
Yeah, just on social media at the moment. My website's in its upgrade phase, but it's Avenie Cherie on Instagram, just that, or the Galactic Alchemist. And on Facebook, it's Aveni Cherie. on Facebook as well. I am, like I said, my website's upgrading at the moment, so it won't be too long, but that will be aveni.co.
Excellent. And we will have all that in the content here in the comments and to download for you. So Aveni, thank you so much, beautiful lady. I'm so happy to have you in my world and to continue to do work together.
Yes. So looking forward to it. Thank you so much, darling.
Okay, boo. And to my audience, to our audience, to the Spirit Essence Gang, to all the beautiful souls that are just finding us, stay in your power, stay divine, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.